Hi, I'm Frank, and I'm at Bedwell Park. We're going to shoot some water rockets off today. These are specialized water rockets. They're made out of the polycarbonate tubing that goes over fluorescent lights. And these ones have a lawn hose quick disconnect, which is how they stay on the machine until they're fired. Two different sizes for modern fluorescent tubes and traditional ones. And I have this one full of water. So we'll go ahead and put this right on and shoot it. And over here, by the way, is my variety of rockets I brought today. And hopefully they'll all fly. Okay, and this is how this little guide tube goes through. You try not to lose too much water, and then you push down and make sure it's snapped in, which it seems to be. Okay, and I'm going to go over here and put some air in it by my scuba tank. It's a lot better than doing it by hand. And I've got a gauge on the launcher, so I know just when I get to where that red line, you don't want to get too close, Robert. That thing could, okay, now you want to back off now as I get close. Okay, be ready. In 3, 2, 1. What's up there? It's floating down sideways instead of coming down nose first. Come back here, rocket. There it is. This little line right here is the water fill line. Or no, that's the CG line. The science of these rockets is that this is the center of gravity, but the center of pressure is behind the center of gravity because it's long and thin. It has a low pressure area and a high pressure area. And even though the rocket is tail heavy, it still stays on a straight trajectory because the center of pressure is holding the tail fins down. And then when it's all the way to the top, it starts backsliding back down. The fins catch the air, it goes sideways and then floats down. And it's really nice because there's no moving parts. Moving parts fail. These rockets are known as conies. You make it out of a piece of paper, and I reinforce them with a little bit of styrofoam, which makes them heavier, and that overweight rocket doesn't go that high, but they're a lot more tolerant to bumping wrong. So that's the history of this one, and it's still tail. It was my first experiment in tail gliding rockets. So let's give it a try. I didn't find my regular funnel, so I have to kind of improvise. And then this one's a smaller, narrower is always better than wide. If the wider they are, the more air they have to push out of the way to get up. So long and skinny is always better than short and fat. And you can see this one has some reinforcement tape on it to keep it from popping. In fact, you can go online and see guys actually purposely pump these things up into the point of exploding, which is nice to watch online, but you don't want to have it happen anywhere near you. Okay. And 3, 2, 1. And that's probably maybe 200 feet, maybe less. She's overweight, but it's still
all right, so what do you have there?
This is one of my earlier styles where it has the it's a little bit lighter, a little bit skinnier. It's a bounce rocket. This is not a tail slider, so this one, luckily they're nice and far away, so hopefully it won't come down anywhere near them. And 2, 1, watch the rocket. It noses over and starts coming down. And it bounces. Very similar to a V2 failure. Okay, these ones are a regular bottleneck, and there's a pipe that goes through with O-rings that seals on the inside, and the guillotine catches this flange and holds it in place and then pulls free. And then this is, inside here is the launch tube, which I'm going to put in a minute. And the launch tube helps it get a boost phase and a nice straight trajectory. So let me get it going. What we can do, I can show you the operation. So when the rocket goes in, the guillotine door closes and catches the rocket. And then there's O-rings in the pipe that will be stuck in here. And then when you want it to release, you just slide it, and the guillotine door opens, and off goes the rocket. If it tips, when you pull it, if it tips, those rockets have to go perfectly straight up. If there's any arc at all, they continue in an arc and they come down, and your rocket sticks in the ground like an arrow, and the front is gone. So that work on that rocket is done. Rockets get shorter and shorter as you cut the front off and mix them. Pretty soon they're like midgets. As you get more and more advanced, they get more and more complicated. There's a lot to be said for simplicity. In fact, this is, I need to put new O-rings on here because this sat all winter, and I just know these O-rings aren't going to work. Okay, boy, I'll tell you, that's pretty close to vertical. It needs a little bit more height over here. Get my wedge in there a little more. And I'll tell you, I could live with that just like that. And I need to go get my step stool. Okay, this one needs about a little more than a cup. This little plastic cup's kind of turned out to be perfect for the medium size. You put less than a cup in a medium, in a small rocket, a little more than a cup in a big rocket. You want about 25 to 33% water, about 2/3 to 3/4 air. Time to see right now, it's got too much of a tilt this way, so I gotta try to correct that a little bit. Yeah, I would say even more, especially this one. This one, it's our first time, so we want to be extra careful. How'd you think that went? All right, it's coming my way.
Little to the left, little to the left.
Check it out, it's spinning.
There you go. Wow.
So, luckily water is heavy, fluidic, inert, and non-toxic.
So you don't think you're going to burn this whole field down with this, huh?
That's right. It's a lot of fun to do when it's a really hot day. Then you stand close to the rockets. Believe me, you never do that. I've seen pictures of guys getting blasted, and want to respect the force. There's a lot of pressure in these things. You don't want to be inviting danger.
That was pretty high. Yeah.
out, Jack. Wants to get your plane.
Wow, that was a high one.
That was a high one.
That was high.
It was very sensual. It was raining on me. I made it rain over here. Okay, we are going to start fueling the little guy. This is Skinny, little rocket. I also make these rockets with air cannon where there's no water. They just fit on a tube and you pump them up with air and shoot them. And those things go pretty high too. But like with all aspects of this kind of sport, make sure you build your equipment correctly. You don't want to have anything blowing up on you. Fun is fun and pain is pain.
Did you see it?
Okay.
You saw it come?
On the launcher there's an air gauge, so if you want it to be back here though, I don't want you too close. Okay. So we're going to start pressuring up, and that little black guy go all the way around to where the red one is, and she is ready. 3, 2, 1, and there it goes. Little boy. All right, I got people helping me retrieve them. I like that. Tell you, this sure beats the heck out of pumping with a bicycle pump. And 3, 2, 1. There she goes. Oh, helicopter. Ouch. Come on, turn around, come back over here. Okay, this one's got a parachute. This little door will pop open and the parachute will shoot out. And the way you time it is with this like wind-up toy gadget called a Tommy timer on the side. You wind that up and this thing spins around, and if you wound it up the right amount, the parachute opens at the right time. That doesn't happen all the time, but we're going to try. So, this is the hair trigger. Look at that. If it works, it will be a miracle. And 3, 2, 1. Come on, Mr. Parachute. Oh no! I told you it wasn't going to work. Okay, so parachute did not come out. It came out that far, and you can see what happened. The cord did not properly release. Parachute deployments are very tricky, so my plan is to stop doing it and just I'll make this into a shorter rocket, and it'll be a midget. So it was fun playing with it, but Success rate is not enough. I need more like 95 and up. Smart Water. This is an excellent bottle if you're considering making water rockets. These fins are made out of the same material the bottle's made out of. You got to get a different flat type of surface bottle, and real good. You can make fins out of a lot of things, but this is really a great little high-performance beginner rocket. Goodbye. This rocket here flew really good a couple of times, and then for some reason it didn't backslide like it's supposed to. It got up and it nosed down and it came all the way down and hit the ground and kind of damaged the tip there. That happens. There's a lot of reasons why that happens, but anyway, that's part of the sport. This one here obviously came down and got reworked. So they're repairable. You just cut that part off, put a new tip on, and do it again. So, but that's part of that. This one, it's got an unbreakable tip, so it came down and bounced a couple times and good as new. This is actually a little Nerf football on the end there. Good rocket. And but luckily I didn't break any of my Pride and Joy rockets. These ones here, these are really exciting. Love them. Done flying, time to go home. I got 2 arms, I'm going to use them both. This requires driving skill.